What kind of cancer did you have?
I had breast cancer that had spread to the lymph nodes and beyond. So I would today be a stage 3 cancer.
What kind of treatment did you do to overcome it?
I had 6 months of chemotherapy and lots of surgeries, and that's it.
How long did the process go on for?
Well, we did 3 months of chemo and then surgery and then 3 more months to catch any cancer cells that still existed.
Did it just spread to your lymph nodes?
Lymph nodes and beyond, although it did not go into other organs like my liver. The 4 places that breast cancer will travel to is the brain, the bones, the liver, and the lungs. And so thankfully it was not in any of those places.
How long have you been in remission?
I've been in remission 21 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
How old were you when they found out that you had cancer?
I was 2 weeks after my 37th birthday.
So you were young.
I was a baby.
When you found out, what were your emotions? Like, how did you feel?
I was terrified because I had a young son at home, and I think I cried every single day for a solid year. Yeah, and I guess the biggest emotion would be being so afraid of my life ending early and not being around to raise my son. So I kept him as my motivation and my goal and my future, and that's what I focused on, you know, as I was trying to heal. My biggest goal was to see him graduate from high school because he was only 10 when this happened, and so I thought if I could just live another 8 years, he could graduate, and then I would know that he would have had a good start in life and that he could probably survive fine without me. But on his graduation day, it was, as you can imagine, like a very emotional day for me. You know, probably more so than the average parent, just simply because of what it represented for me. And so then I set other goals, like I wanted to be at his wedding, and then I wanted to see grandchildren, and then I wanted, you know, on and on. And I was able to be at his college graduation, I was able to be at his wedding, so life is good.
That's good. What was the biggest obstacle?
Life is good.
Oh.
You saw that scene.
What was your biggest obstacle when you were in chemo and then also the end stages of the cancer before it went into remission?
I would say the greatest obstacle was my fear and trying to stay positive all the time. And for the most part, I was able to do that, and yet there were times when the fear just was a nightmare. I mean, literally, I would wake up in the middle of the night and know that I had been planning my funeral in my sleep. And I would wake up and know that I thought I was dying. You know? And so it's that kind of thing that is so hard about cancer, way harder than, you know, the physical pain of it. It's the emotional pain that is such a struggle.
Were you teaching around this time?
I was not. I worked at Central Michigan University, so I was working in the counseling office at CMU when this happened.
Are you scared it's going to come back?
I am always scared that it's going to come back, always. The fear has absolutely gotten better and better, well, less fear as the years have gone on. So it's not that terrifying, you know, take your breath away when you go into a doctor's office to get your, you know, yearly check. It's not that anymore. So it has gotten easier, but it's still a fear because breast cancer is the one cancer, wouldn't you know, that they will never tell you that you are cured. no matter how long, because that cancer cell can lie dormant in your body for 20, 30, 50 years, and then something will trigger it, and it will start growing again, and it'll come back.
Mhm.
And that's crazy. Most cancers, if you make it past 5 years, you're good. You know, you're good, and they'll tell you that you're cured. But breast cancer does not have that.
Did you have a history of breast cancer in your family?
Zip.
Zip?
None.
None?
None. And all the 7 risk factors, I had none of those. Yeah, so it was really random that I got it. I mean, we've had other cancers in my family, but never breast cancer. And it just seemed like it came out of the blue. It was discovered on a Monday, and by Wednesday I was on chemotherapy. It was like, what? What just happened?
Isn't cancer supposed to be like genetic or like hereditary?
Some-
Not
It can be
always.
both.
Yeah, not always at all. No.
It can be environmental and it can also be genetic.
And it can be just random. I mean, right now, the cancer statistics, and it includes all kinds of cancer, including just like basal cell skin cancer, which is non-life-threatening
It's
generally. But it's 1 in every 2 people
Wow.
in their lifetime. Those are horrific odds, you know, but it's reality. At least now, if you're diagnosed, there are treatments for many, many, many types of cancers that they didn't have even 10 years ago. So it's no longer looked at as a death sentence. It's looked as a chronic illness, one that, you know, you can suffer with for a number of years.
Right.
It'll go away, come back, go away, come back. But at least it's not the death sentence that it used to be.
Okay.
Even when I was diagnosed 20-some years ago, there was no one in this town that had the same diagnosis that I had that survived.
Wow.
So
Did you go to the Maury Cancer Center for treatment? Or?
I did not. It was not here at that time. I did all of my work through Midland Hospital.
And one more question.
Sure.
What helped you make your cancer treatments be positive enough to outlast chemo?
I am blessed with many, many wonderful people in my life. I have a lot of friends. I have a wonderful family. I have a beautiful son and a great husband, and so I've been really blessed with that. And I can tell you for a fact that no cancer patient could survive this without the people in their lives. And that's what pulled me through, absolutely, without a doubt. More than anything, it's the people in my life. And so I was able to determine what I wanted out of life, and that had nothing at all to do with money, big house, big car, could care less. So it's like a matter of priorities, and I think if cancer does nothing else for you, it offers a little gift, and that's being able to prioritize what's important in your life, and it gives you a little gift of life, which is so ironic because we think of it as, you know, surely that's going to kill us. But if you survive, you are able to then look back and say, okay, I get it now. I get what life is all about. And so it's a gift in that way.
Okay, say goodbye to the camera.
Goodbye.